Hello lovely people, it's Sunday. It's that weird time between Christmas and New Year, so I appreciate you all tuning in. This week we are learning how to make the fantastic Pavlova. Wherever you want to argue that it's from, New Zealand, Australia, I don't care. All I know is that it's absolutely delicious and we're going to learn how to make it. So let's jump on into making Pavlova 4 ways. We're just going to get into it. We really don't need a lot of ingredients to make meringue, and it's actually super quick. We're just going to put a few little twists on it when the meringue is done. So I've got 4 eggs, I've got some vanilla, some sugar, a little bit of corn flour and a little bit of vinegar. This can be any kind of vinegar, maybe not malt, probably a bit dark. I've got some apple cider, and all it does is stabilise the egg whites because it lowers their pH, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, if it goes the other way. Oh, sorry, that was bad of me, but I'm pretty sure it lowers it so it makes it more stable. So let's get cracking. So I'm going to use the stand mixer, but you know, this is also really, you can do this with like a hand, you know, beaters. You could even do it by hand. It would just take you a really long time. So I do suggest that if you have something electric, maybe do that. Now the bowl, you got to make sure that before you put your egg whites in here, it is sparkly clean. You don't want any bits. You don't want any bits in there. You don't want anything stuck on the side. You don't want any remnants of anything else that's ever been in there. It needs to be super clean. And then when we crack the eggs, you have to make sure that no yolk goes anywhere near the egg whites, because if yolk goes in there, these egg whites aren't going to do their thing. So be gentle and cautious and take your time to make sure that you do it correctly. So what I would suggest is that this is your final bowl for your egg whites. You crack your eggs and we'll have another bowl here, just like that, that will be our midpoint. So that if you put an egg white in here and then your next one you break and you get some egg yolk in it, you haven't ruined your entire batch. These are the things that you learn working in restaurants that seem so stupid and maybe long-winded, but it will always save your greater volume of whatever it is you're making. So let's get on with this. And especially if your eggs were old, there would be a higher chance that your yolk would break, because the egg is starting to break down a bit, which means that the outer membrane on the yolk is not so firm. So that is when you have to be really careful that you don't get any yolk in your whites. So we'll add the first one and repeat. Oh, see here, that egg yolk has broken. That would have been an absolute disaster had it have gone in here. Or even more so a disaster had you been breaking into here and then it had broken and ruined all your other whites. And that's it, your last one in. Your yolks, keep them. You know what would be delicious? Maybe making a curd. You could make a curd to go on top of your Pavlova, and that would be sensational. Maybe we'll do another video on how to make some yummy curds. But for the minute, I'm not doing that, so I'm gonna put the lid on them, put them in the fridge. Save them for your breakfast in the morning. And then we're just going to use the whisk attachment. So we're going to get these whites whisking and we'll come back to them when they are fully formed. When you put your eggs on, I go slow in the beginning so that it can start to break down, and then we'll speed it up after it's been whisking for maybe 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, something like that. And while my egg whites are whisking, I'm just going to weigh out the other few components that we need. So I need 165 grams of sugar, half a teaspoon of vinegar, and half a teaspoon of corn flour. And then we're just going to add a tiny dash of vanilla towards the end. So we'll get that weighed out while this stuff is whisking. Okay, so our egg whites have been whisking. They're now stiff peaks. So this is what they look like. Only took maybe 5 minutes altogether. So now what we're going to do again is on low, we're going to put it in and we're going to add a small amount of the sugar. And as you can see here, It's starting to become a little bit more glossy. So we're going to continue to add a little bit. With your 165 grams, you probably want to split it into 4 times adding it into your egg whites. So 4 separate times to add in all of your sugar. And then what you want to do at this point is take a little bit of the meringue and push it between your fingers. And if you can still feel the sugar granules, you need to whip it for longer, which I can, so I'm probably going to whip it, for another few minutes. Also, good opportunity to take your spatula and just make sure it's all off the sides and getting incorporated evenly. Thank God I noticed what was happening. Fuck. Sometimes, honestly. So I'll give it one more try. And then sugar granules have pretty much disappeared. Oh my God, honestly, what am I doing? I don't know why, I think it's the other way around. Add in our half a teaspoon of corn flour. Again, I weighed it to one side because I didn't want to do it over the bowl in case I slipped. And as it looks like today, I'm having a bit of a clumsy one anyway, so probably a good idea. So add your half a teaspoon of corn flour in, and then your half a teaspoon of vinegar. And now we'll whisk it in. And we're also going to add a tiny dash of vanilla. Optional, but yum. Apologies if you can hear that noise in the background. I think my next door neighbours have just decided to mow the lawn. This is now where you can customise your meringue. So this is just so you can get an idea of the kind of thing that you can do and how nice you can make it look. So the first thing we're going to do is take out the plain one. The oven is on 120 fan, and once these are all there, they're going in. So let's get them working. So, you know, this is up to you. What shape you would like, if you would like to pipe them, how large you like them, all up to you. This here would actually probably also make one nice large pavlova, but we're going to go for some mini ones. And now I'm going to take a bit, and here I've got some mango powder. Now I'm just going to crumble it in, and we're just going to fold it through this meringue, and it's just going to look lovely. I probably should have kept this mango powder in the fridge, but I didn't. Hence why it's a bit lumpy, but that's okay. And then just with a spoon, I'm just going to fold some through. In fact, I've had a better idea. I'm going to grate some in because that's how much of a hard lump this one was. But again, it just makes it look super cute, gives it a little bit of a different flavour. And now we're going to do a raspberry one. Again, it just looks so pretty, and it's a really nice way to fancy up your meringue, you know. And then for the next one, we're going to add a little bit of cocoa powder. And that there is how you can just fancy up your meringues with actually not a lot of effort. I mean, you know, the other two stuff, yes, you'd have to go out and buy, but cocoa powder you might have. And then what's really nice is you can make a complimentary topping to go with it. So I'm going to get these in, and while they're cooking, we're going to make a few little toppings that are going to go on them. But otherwise, they're going in an hour and 20 minutes. At 120 degrees, and then when that timer goes off, you turn the oven off and fully let them cool down. So we'll come back to them realistically, it's probably going to be about 2 hours before that oven cools down. But yeah, then we're going to have some absolutely delicious pavlovas. So we'll see you then. The meringues, they are in the oven, looking great, wonderful. They also smell delicious. Now, a little bit about the toppings. You don't have to go out and buy fresh fruit. I love a bit of frozen fruit. Obviously, fresh fruit is great. If it's the time of the year when you can get berries, mega, go get them. If you can afford them, go get them. But sometimes they're expensive and sometimes not in season and then just taste rubbish. So why not go for frozen? I literally think that frozen is a fantastic option for something like this because it means you can mix it up as you wish. So I've got some berries. Again, we're just going to let them defrost. They are just going to be for a classic pav. I've got passion fruit here. The passion fruit is going to be like a little drizzle to go over, absolutely fabulous. For the chocolate one, I had a couple of frozen plums, which we're going to defrost. They're going to become nice and soft, and then we're going to melt a little bit of chocolate, and it's going to be like a Black Forest ghetto kind of vibe. You know the one. Not with cherries though, obviously, but plums. I've got some frozen pineapple. This is like frozen pineapple concentrate. Again, this is going to be for like kind of the tropically one. We're going to fold it through the yogurt. Yes, that's right, you heard me right. We are not using cream. We're going to use plain Greek yogurt because it's a great alternative to cream. Not everyone likes loads of cream. It means it's a little bit tangy to go with that very sweet meringue and often offsets fruit really nice. So, a little bit of a twist again, but it's totally up to you. I just really think yogurt is a great option because you don't have to whip it, it's nice and thick, and it's often absolutely delicious. So we'll kind of get all of these ready out. And the other one that we're going to do is like banoffee Biscoff pie vibe. So I'm going to fold a bit of Biscoff through some yogurt. I've got some fresh banana, I've got some dried banana. We're going to put that on there. And again, I think we're going to grate a little bit of chocolate on top. Your pavlova doesn't have to just be kiwi fruit and berries. Think outside the box and make something delicious. So I'll come back when the pavs are cold and these are all ready. So we'll see you later on. So the meringues are cold, cooled down in the oven, fantastic. Let's have a quick look at them. They are crisp on the outside, a little bit gooey in the middle. These things are going to be fantastic. So let's make the middles and get these things plated up. So I've got a teaspoon of Biscoff. Oh, stuff is yum. And what we'll do is we'll just pop that in the microwave. To warm it up ever so slightly so we can drizzle it all over the banana one. And now it's just time to plate these bad boys up. So again, like I said, I've got yogurt. You don't need cream for this. And then you don't, you know, this is actually unsweetened. The meringue is so sweet itself. You don't need to have milk, you don't need to have cream with sugar added to it. And then the yogurt itself is nice and tart and nice and fresh. And it's just a really lovely contrast. So this one over here is the meringue with the raspberry. The smell of it when it was baking was incredible. This one is obviously the chocolate. This one here is the mango. And then just the plain one. And then this is where you can do whatever you like. So I've got them lovely plums, which I defrosted to go with the chocolate one. And what's great is they've got a little bit of juice, so that little bit of juice can go in there too. Fabulous. We've got the banana guy, which I'm just doing on the plain one because the bananas are super sweet. With that drizzle of Biscoff over. Naughty, but delicious. And then to the top of that too, I've also got some amazing little dried bits of banana that are just like caramel and sweet and delicious. And in the style of banoffee, a little grated chocolate. I've got a little bit of melted chocolate to drizzle over this guy too. Oh my God, insane. We've got the mango one, and I've got some of this pineapple concentrate, which is just so tart, with a few little bits of passion fruit. So tart, but it's going to be so good with that super sweet meringue. And I also had some little bits of mango in the freezer. Freezer stuff, honestly, is incredible because then it means you can make all these different styles. And then finally, them defrosted berries with that raspberry meringue. And oh my God, it just looks amazing. And in a classic way, we can just have a few little bits of that passion fruit. And I also had some little chocolate cocoa nib clusters to go on that last one. And there you have 4 great ways to make pavlova. It doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be the way that everyone makes it. You can make it as you like. And now that they are all plated up, we can get stuck in. And this is an absolute smorgasbord of flavours, so I get to try a little bit of each one. So we'll go OG first. This is the raspberry meringue with the yogurt and the berries. I mean, it's delicious. The yogurt is such a great addition. Please, please try it. I promise you, it will not fail you. Banoffee with the Biscoff. Oh, also this meringue is just like perfect. It's a little bit chewy in the middle. It's crunchy on the outside. Bananas, man. They are bloody banging. And these little ones, you know what? And these little ones, they're just dehydrated. I dehydrated them myself from bananas that were going off. They're an absolute freaking win. They're almost like banana candy. Anyways, the meringue with the mango in, the tropical vibes. Oh, that is so nice and tart. Absolute winner for anyone that doesn't like it too sweet. And then finally, the chocolate meringue. We all know probably my favourite because I just love chocolate. Chocolate. Oh, and that, oh, that's just such great flavours. The sweet plum, the chocolate meringue, the drizzled chocolate, and then again, the yogurt. I promise you, oh, win. Please give these a go. They are so simple to make and you can make them however you like. That is why these are such a great dessert, because you can really cater to anybody's taste. So I'm going to continue to probably eat this banana one because it's absolutely banging. And it is so delicious. And I want to just take this opportunity to say thank you so much for supporting me this year. The next video will be out in the new year. And without you guys liking, subscribing, commenting, I can't carry on this weird and wonderful journey. It's been nearly 8 months of me doing this. I'm still brand new to creating, but I love teaching you guys how to make insane, delicious treats. So please come back and see me in the new year, where we will be making some equally delicious meals. If there's anything that you want in the new year, let me know. And otherwise, I'll see you all soon. Happy New Year, guys. Lots of love. Thank you for joining me at Dishes with Del. I'll see you later.